Sound clap.
Cool.
Fire!
Sound yell?
That works.
God. A sound screen. I don't know. What's going on? Views Beyond the News. Today we're a little excited because...
Guess who's back?
Yeah, guess who's back? He's not, doing his big boy grown-up schoolwork now.
Fuck you.
Wow.
Shit was busy.
Damn, hurts. But today we're going to start with talking about Quentin Tarantino's 9th film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Ba-bam.
Great show.
Highly recommended.
Fantastic. I didn't see a damn thing wrong with it. But for those of you who haven't seen it, or if you're uncultured and haven't even watched a trailer about it, it follows a actor, Rick Dalton, and his stunt double / you could call him his best friend. They hang out the entire movie.
Yeah.
Cliff Booth. Rick Dalton's played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Cliff Booth is played by Brad Pitt.
Damn.
And it basically follows his career as he realizes that he's slowly phasing into typecasting. He's being cast in one specific role. His career's going downhill, and he's not too sure what to do about it. And it also follows the somewhat of the story behind the Manson family, the hippies, and what should have been the murder of Sharon Tate. Now,
Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, spoilers ahead. It doesn't follow history specifically, but it does kind of give you a look into what might have happened back then, because clearly Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth are fictional characters. They're not real.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. There was a
I
part
didn't know
where
if they were real or not.
there's a part when Tyler was like, "Is that the real Rick Dalton?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, no, it's not real.
I was like,
I didn't
what
know
are
if
you
it was a
talking
real
about?
person or not.
I'm pretty sure it's the guy that played the leader of the stuntmen. Not the guy that's supposed to be Bruce Lee, but I think the character was like his wife was the director or something like that. Whenever Cliff threw Bruce Lee's character in a car,
Yeah.
he was like, "Is that the real Rick Dalton?" I was like, "No."
No. The only handful of people that were actually real were Margot Robbie's character Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
She was real. She was murdered by the Manson family, and the guy she was with, the director Roman Polanski. Those two people were real. But Quentin Tarantino movie, he creates his own characters and incorporates real history into it and does his own thing, and he does it very well.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
But the movie itself, I mean, I don't really want to spoil it, but there's no really a good way to talk about it without spoiling it.
It's been out for like what, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, it's been a
Something like that.
So a lot of people probably.
It's kind of like it's kind of like when Endgame came out. Like if you haven't seen it within the opening week, I'm sorry.
the hell
but the
are you?
spoilers
Everyone's probably already seen it.
But it follows just the buildup of Rick Dalton's career. Not really the buildup, the downfall. Yeah. And how he ends up going to Italy to do Italy westerns.
Yeah,
and
gross.
he comes back. Yeah, really weird.
Italian westerns.
And when he comes back, I think it's where Tarantino took more from what actually happened. Because the hippies were supposed to go murder Sharon Tate. Because towards the end of the movie, the hippies pull up in their shitty car, and Rick Dalton comes outside, and he's pissed off that these hippies are on his property in Hollywood. He tells them to fuck off. And the hippies themselves, what they were planning to do was real. They were planning to murder Hollywood stars for glorifying killing and shit, and Manson's family's fucking crazy.
Brainwashed girls off the street because most of them were homeless.
Well, because you only see Charles Manson once.
Yeah.
I didn't. Wait, what? When?
He's the guy in the bed.
No,
he's not.
Charles Manson.
That's George.
The Charles Manson was actually the guy. You remember when Brad Pitt's character Cliff Booth was on the roof fixing the antenna, and Margot Robbie was dancing in the house.
Oh, that was the guy in the
van.
The guy who pulled up in the van looking for people. That was Charles Manson. You see him once.
He was like looking for Terry and something.
Oh, didn't he say his name was Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was actually Charles Manson.
I didn't catch that. I kind of thought the dude George was Charles.
No.
Charles Manson wasn't an old dude.
He was young at the time.
He was a young dude.
But
It's fucking insane.
where it picks up is they were supposed to walk up and they were supposed to murder Sharon Tate in her home. But, fictional story, Quentin Tarantino, they end up getting intercepted by Rick and Cliff.
And Brandy.
They just get horribly fucking murdered. Like, Cliff just fucking wrecks these hippies.
That's a good boy.
Brandy, the fucking dog, he was like...
Yeah,
That's
I
a
was
good girl
like,
right
oh,
there.
shit.
Cliff has a pit bull in the movie.
Such a beautiful pit
And
bull, too.
it's
She
a
was a
well-trained
pretty pit bull.
dog. And towards the end of the movie, where the murder is supposed to actually take place, Cliff was tripping off an acid cigarette. It sounded really good at the time.
I was like,
He was tripping off an acid cigarette.
It's like a cigarette dipped in acid.
And how much is it? 50 cents? I looked over at Josh. That's a fucking steal.
I was like,
and
Never try an acid. Fuck
he
that
just
shit.
like these hippies just get brutally fucking murdered. The dog bites the one dude on the arm, the thigh, then right in the dick.
right in the dick, bro.
Bites his
He fucking
cock
bounces
off.
a can of dog food off that one hippie girl's nose, shatters it. She's screaming bloody fucking murder. And then they end up murdering these hippies. And in the end of the story, Sharon Tate lives. And it's almost kind of like coming back to where Rick Dalton gets introduced to her. And his career might kind of start to rise up because he'll get introduced to Roman Polanski. And he'll just be on the rise in his career again.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic movie. It's a great fictional story. Leonardo DiCaprio is unmatched. He
So
really
good.
is.
He's such
Brad
a great
Pitt was
actor.
pretty good in it too.
Brad
Pitt
Pitt was
was great.
fantastic. The one scene where he took his shirt off to fix that antenna at 50 years old and he's fucking ripped. I looked at Josh. I was like, he doesn't have to flex that hard. Damn.
Dude, he's great.
Man's in great shape.
Dude, when he was fighting that fight scene, that was nuts.
My favorite part is he just starts giggling. He's like, "Are you fucking real?" He's like,
Points a finger gun at him. He's like,
I love how he goes, "I'm the devil." No, it was something stupid, more dumber than that.
I was like,
It was like Rex. Tex, that's your name, Tex.
I recommend it. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a Tarantino film.
Never,
you really
ever, ever.
can't.
nope.
But
"Well, if you got
Tarantino-
3 hours to spare."
Yeah. Like, watch
was a
some, like,
long
Pulp
movie.
Fiction.
They're all like 3 hours, man.
That was a long movie.
But, I mean, we're not really doing the story justice, just giving you bits and pieces
You
from
gotta
it.
go watch it.
But in terms of the way it wrapped up and the story that was told, I mean, I'd give it a solid, honestly, 10 out of 10. I loved it.
It was good.
It was really good.
I give it a 9.5. Left me for a little loop in the beginning.
Well, especially when, like, did you guys ever notice Dakota Fanning in the movie?
Who?
Dakota
She
Fanning.
was.
I think she was the
She was the
redheaded
redhead.
hippie.
Yeah.
I never noticed her.
Oh,
I had no fucking
That
clue.
was
to
her.
Who?
Dakota
Fanning.
Fanning.
Fanny.
Who's that?
This is why we're going to create a game show.
Who's Dakota Fanning?
She did the what's it? The spider and the pig movie. Fuck, what's that?
Charlotte's
called?
Web.
Charlotte's Web.
Yeah,
She was the little
haven't
girl in Charlotte's
Who-
Web.
Wasn't she the little
Haven't
girl?
Really?
in, Man on Fire.
Yeah, Man on
with,
Fire.
Denzel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Huh?
She did a lot of
Who was
acting.
Al
Al
Cap-
seen
Al
it.
Capone.
Give me
Al
a movie where
Pacino's
she's from.
character.
Who was he?
Yeah, who is Al Pacino's character?
I would assume he was just some big time movie executive. He's just
So was he? He wasn't the actual director. That old guy that had the turtleneck. Was he the other guy? Because there was two of them, and the other guy looked just like him, but just
honestly.
older.
I went to Wikipedia when I was writing down all my notes, and I read who these characters were based on, but I don't remember. Like their names that I just
because
first glance aren't.
the entire movie, I was like,
Al
"Wait,
Pacino was in
where's
the
Al
movie.
Pacino at?"
I thought it was crazy how like big of a star Al Pacino is, and he has such a small role in this. But also, I mean, there were a lot of people in this movie.
Like a cameo.
I was like, there was a shitload of
They've had
like,
a lot of
big
people
name
in it.
actors in it. But I kind of want to talk about how underrated Leonardo DiCaprio is. Like everyone loves him. The man's on the top of the list for celebrities fighting for climate change. He's everywhere at once. He puts out shitloads of Oscar-worthy movies, but he's only won once. One Oscar.
What was it for again?
Wasn't it for The Revenant?
Is that what it was?
I thought it was for The
The
Revenant.
bear movie.
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
I think it was pretty sure. I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure.
know why I thought it was for Django.
No.
No,
No, it
but he
wasn't
was fucking amazing.
That was a
Django.
good, yeah.
Yeah, dude, he fucking sliced open his hand and like
I really-
real blood and wiped it on the like.
Is
the,
he a method actor?
yes,
I think he is.
dude.
Because he is insane in every role he
The horror
does.
on that girl's face when he's rubbing—that's his actual blood. He's rubbing it all over that girl's face.
Oh, I'd be sitting there like Leo's blood. Oh my god.
My
Can I
favorite,
somehow make babies out of this?
the only movie that I really wanted him to get an Oscar was in The Wolf on Wall Street.
That was a great. Let me see what movie he got the Oscar for.
See,
Wolf of Wall Street is pretty good.
My favorite
Great
thing-
Gatsby is pretty good too.
my favorite thing about Leonardo DiCaprio is when he gets into a role, he never really uses the same voice. Like The Wolf of Wall Street, he sounded just like the guy it was based off of.
Yeah.
In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I don't know what he did with his voice, but the twang he had on it, it was perfect.
The
I
Great
loved
Gatsby.
it.
Sounds like my uncle.
Great Gatsby.
The
He
Great
sounds like
Gatsby
my
had
Uncle
a-
Kevin, by the way. That's how my Uncle Kevin sounds.
Even in the Titanic,
I shit you
when he's
not.
younger.
Dude, The Great Gatsby, he's just so proper.
Dude, I love Great. That's such a good.
Tobey
fucking
Maguire!
It's pizza time.
But I feel like the man has been cheated But
so many times.
But Josh has also brought up a good point. Anytime an Oscar-worthy performance by him comes out,
It was for The Revenant.
it's always at a time where there are other like major Oscar nominations.
Because did Jago come out the same time as La La Land, and Moon, whatever?
I still can't believe La La Land was robbed, but I don't remember.
Because that guy that was in that one also got an Oscar that night for the Moon, whatever it's called. That the lead guy in that, Moonlight, he got the Oscar for that, and I think Leonardo DiCaprio had a chance to win it there too. And I was like, poor man, he's never gonna get an Oscar.
Nope.
And the man is so humble about it too. He's just like, well, it didn't happen. He's like, on to the next role. He's like, I'll do better.
But it's kind of like, I don't know, because it also took a little bit for, what's his name, Matthew McConaughey to get one.
Found out you cannot leave the app.
We can't do one of these without something going wrong. Go ahead.
Apologize.
One of you two.
But like, when The Wolf of Wall Street came out, he was nominated for the Oscar for Best Actor, but Matthew McConaughey won that.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey got that with.
And like
Dallas Buyers Club was good.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn good.
It's one of those like, are you really gonna trump Matthew McConaughey? I mean, come on.
No.
Now.
But also, Matthew McConaughey was also in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, but it was it was like a 20-minute role.
He was in there for a
Yeah.
while.
Yo, I remember y'all watched that High at the Lake.
Dude, I remember sitting there at the lake, and me and Josh watched. I was like, Josh, when is this movie gonna fucking end?
It's a long movie. The other time he was nominated in 2006 for Blood Diamond, he lost to The Last King of Scotland.
Wow.
And Forrest Whitaker.
Never seen that movie.
I've never heard of either of those movies.
I've seen the Whitaker one, not the Lost King of Scotland. What came out for when Titanic did?
What year is that?
96?
90 something, wasn't it?
I can't remember what year Titanic was.
Don't.
I can look for it though. Keep talking, I'll look for it.
I don't know. I just feel
But
like
there's also a lot of good actors these days.
There are. But I mean, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio, I think he should easily have 2 to 3 Oscars under his belt. I do think he's been
at
robbed
least.
many
There's
times.
some.
I think he should at least have 5.
He should have
Because-
all of them.
And I fully believe he'll go down as one of the greatest actors of his generation, this generation. Like, I think he's top.
Who's
top
rated
5.
as the greatest actor in history right now?
Right now?
I don't know.
Are we
Right
talking
now.
about like
That's
the
a
kids?
pretty, like-
Because you have all these generations.
I know, but like who's recognized as being the greatest actor so far?
Like I said, but like
I
what
don't know,
type of
that's kinda,
generation
like,
are you wanting?
objectively,
Like, are you
like, I
wanting
don't know if
like
you can-
Tom Cruise's generation? Or are you
Oh,
wanting,
he wasn't even nominated in
are
1977.
you wanting like our generation? Because that's
I mean,
like that's
if-
Tom
if-
Holland. You have what's the girl's name? Zendaya.
Zendaya.
You have
no, like all like not
If-
the ones who are in
if
the
you
early
look
hood of like
up-
there were.
No, if you look up a list of the greatest actors of all time, there are people from like the 50s and 60s, like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin are on that list because they acted in so many movies. They're on the list. Like,
Sinatra
like
acted.
Yeah.
yes, he was.
him, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr. They all went from
I
music
know the other
to
two.
acting to back and forth. Like that
I
list. is
googled
so
it and I got
long.
3 names. Got
Tom- I see
Marlon
Tom Hanks on
Brando,
there.
Tom Hanks,
Tom
and Robert
Hanks.
De Niro.
Marlon Brando,
Tom Hanks.
Oh wait,
Godfather.
no, it drops down. There's a lot more names.
The Godfather.
I bet
Dude.
Al
Pacino's there.
Pacino's in there.
Dude,
Al
The
Pacino's such a
Godfather
good-
is
Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp, Clint Eastwood.
Johnny Depp's a fantastic.
Is
actor.
Brad Pitt in that generation with Leonardo?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Tom Cruise too. They were all in the same.
I read an
Mark
article.
Wahlberg.
I hate Tom Cruise.
What?
I don't like Tom
I
Cruise.
love
So the year
Tom
the
Cruise.
Titanic came out was
Tom
in
Cruise?
I don't like
97,
Tom Cruise. Never have.
and it wasn't
Why?
even nominated for
Really?
Leonardo didn't get nominated for the Oscar that
At
year
all?
because there was Good Will Hunting, As Good as It Gets.
Goodwill Hunting.
Can't go wrong with
Yeah.
Good Hunting.
Dude, that's such
Jack
a-
Nicholson won that year.
Dude, have you ever?
For As Good as It Gets, he was Melvin Udall.
Jack Nicholson doesn't even act anymore, does he?
I don't think
No.
so.
I haven't seen Jack Nicholson.
Pretty
in
sure he's
anything.
He hasn't been in
Not much.
in one in a while.
Probably just sitting there, all this money, chilling.
All his gray hair shooting out to the side like.
Yeah,
Dude,
maybe.
He's stoned as fuck.
holy shit.
What?
What's wrong?
I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
Yeah, I can tell.
Damn
I
it.
see the look in your eye. He was like, dude, it's gone.
Fuck.
No, what
My
I was going to
brain.
say was.
It's
Actually,
about the actor list.
I read an article
It'll
earlier.
come back to me.
Brad Pitt was actually part of the Church of Scientology at one point.
Hmm?
And he was there and he was going through a detox session in the church. And it apparently caused like almost a near fatal experience, so he left.
You know who else was also a part of it? Jake Gyllenhaal.
Really? I know Tom Cruise is like one of the head members of this Church of Scientology. Like, he's a top-ranking fucking member.
They are fucking insane.
I actually have a book by the founder of them that I haven't read yet, but I want to so bad.
Why? That's
because
like,
it's so interesting.
That's like straight buying Mein Kampf, which you
I
also
own
buy.
Mein Kampf.
I know you do.
I have Mein Kampf.
I don't have Mein Kampf. Isn't it? No, it's in English.
No, it's in English.
It's translated.
Yeah.
Dude. No, you're gonna be like,
respect the men what they did, Tyler,
and I'm gonna join the Church of Scientology.
No, I think it'd be interesting to read from their standpoint what they thought. I mean,
don't get me wrong. Like,
the worst thing on the planet you could ever attempt to read is Satan's Bible. You should never open that ever.
I don't even want to look at that.
Yeah, no, the Devil's Bible.
You have me intrigued.
No, because the Gokoi will come out and get your ass.
Yeah, no.
I would like to read the first line of that.
There's the Book of Satan that's basically a Bible for the devil.
Yeah.
And that is the only book, in my opinion, that you should never
It's like
attempt
that
to ever
and Ouija boards I will never fuck with.
Fuck Ouija boards, dude. My stepmom has a crazy ass story of her and her friends played with one, and then something happened, and they burned it, and it showed up the next day underneath like her bed.
The only thing my mom
and she was like, "Nope, we're done here," and they moved out of that house and left the Ouija board there for the next people who lived there.
Satanic was my mom did the Bloody Mary, and she goes, "Never doing it again," and I was like, "What happened?" She goes, "Not gonna talk about it," and I was like,
"Well, you know the myth behind the Bloody Mary thing, right?"
Yeah.
When you stand in the dark room in the mirror, your brain starts to play tricks on you after so long. So I mean, the bloody that and people used to play the Candyman thing. You walk in the bathroom in the dark and say Candyman 3 times.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a stupid thing.
Yeah,
I only go off based of.
There's a version of Satan's Bible that was written by a monk, like a religious monk, and he was pressed for time for writing something, and he had like one day to do it, or else he had consequences if he didn't get this done. So he prayed to Satan and asked him to help him write this book. And it's the biggest book in the world, and it was written in one night. And people who have looked at it like there's no way this big of a book could be written in one night. Every single person who's like an expert on people who have written books have looked at it like it was written in one night. Like there's no way. It's the same handwriting. It's fluid throughout. There was no stopping at all. This was drawn and written in one night, and the book's like this fucking big, and it's like the size of this fucking table. I shit you not. You unfold it, it's the size of this table.
That's a lot of writing.
What's crazy is the people who claim that they worship Satan. Like there's an actual church. It's a Satanist church. It's like the only one of its kind. It's an actual building where people go to worship shit. No, it's in Mexico.
Yeah, I was like
the one that made major.
The only one that I
headlines
can
was
think is Mexico.
Oh. And they made major headlines because the guy who runs the place stated that, you know, they have celebrities who come down, and if you go into the church and don't want to be recognized, they give you these masks to wear when you walk in. And celebrities come down there and have like gay weddings, baptisms and shit in the church. And for the longest time, the Catholic Church, the Pope, they were calling for this place to be demolished because clearly, I mean, based on what we know about religion, the devil's evil. And this church, the guy who runs it, said that he was a devout Catholic for most of his life until one day he really felt that God wasn't helping him. So he decided to pray to Satan, and he said after, you know, a few days of doing it, he really felt the change in his life and nothing bad had happened to him, so he kept doing it and then founded this church. And they're still trying to get it demolished.
I know exactly.
Do you know that
I've watched the same thing you watched.
Some
I know
people
exactly
are saying,
what
like,
you're talking
that's
about.
That's what started the cartel wars from coming over here. Because that guy was just making money off of it. Because it's like Diablo's son or something, and I was like, that makes sense.
Did you say Diablo's son?
That's what they call him.
Fuck that. I don't understand why you'd go waltzing and be like, "Hey, Satan, let's see if you're real." Like,
so bringing it back, I think Leonardo DiCaprio should play the son of the devil, and that'll get him another Oscar. That'll get him another Oscar. And
dude, he would make a great
I think he would play the devil or the son of the devil. I
think he can be the devil, but I would really want to see like Jake Gyllenhaal, someone on that caliber of like him going insane in movies.
But when I see like Leonardo DiCaprio playing the son of Satan, I almost imagine him like Great Gatsby style. Like he's really
that's what I was
he's
thinking.
really suave, but he's got like a dastardly plan in his back pocket. Like
or if he was Satan, you know how he looked in Django Unchained with the beard and everything? I imagine him looking like that.
You know who has to be in that movie?
Longish hair.
Morgan Freeman. This guy.
Shit, what year was Jake?
That's true,
dude.
Morgan Freeman has to play God.
Morgan Freeman has to play
versus
God.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Did you see that Morgan Freeman's making another show about like God sightings or something like that?
Yeah.
I was like, only Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
He just wants to play God because he thinks it's cool.
I think he
I
might
mean,
be God.
I would.
Honestly, I
Him,
think
him and Keanu could be top
Right.
contenders for
No,
God.
Morgan Freeman's God. Keanu's his son.
It's Jesus.
He's Jesus. Damn it.
Dude, Keanu could play Jesus.
Look at that man.
He so could.
That looks like he's holding Remy.
Our Lord and
Stop.
Savior Keanu.
Our Lord and Savior Keanu.
No, I hope the best for Leonardo. I hope nothing happens to that man. I hope he gets everything he wants in life because he deserves it. He really does. He's
He's
a
a
great
good
actor.
actor,
Seems
yeah.
like a good person.
He's insane, bro. He's awesome.
I like it.
Every time he plays a role in a movie, you know he's gonna kill
I
it.
just want to hang out with someone as humble as like that. Like,
I want
That's
to hang out
what-
with Matthew McConaughey.
My
just wanna
favorite is
see-
there was that one summer where everyone kept taking pictures of him when he was going through like a little chubby phase.
Yeah.
And he was just like sitting there, belly out, eating a burger on top of his boat or something like that. And everyone kept making fun of him. I was like, why?
Or like,
I was like, I need a burger on my yacht and just be like,
do you see the one where he's riding the bike and has ice cream?
Yeah.
He's always.
Everyone just kept taking pictures of Leonardo DiCaprio his summer, and they're like, "Yep, he's getting chubby."
dude, I would so
He was
just
like,
sit
"I'm
on my,
bulking for a role."
dude, I'd sit on my fucking yacht and just, good God, that'd be fucking
Pretty sure
awesome.
that was the summer after he won the Oscar. I don't know.
He was the Revenant.
He was flexing.
He was like, "I can eat all I want now."
Man, it's like, it's time to take a vacation. I'm going to gain 20 pounds real quick.
But, Hollywood training, he could lose it all.
I just want to hang out with like
4 months if he
him.
wanted to.
Fucking, Mark Wahlberg's on my list.
Honestly, if I had to pick
love
an
Mark
actor
Wahlberg.
right now to spend a day with, it might be Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt would be cool to hang out with.
Brad Pitt would.
I would hang out with Brad Pitt.
I just want to sit in the car with Brad Pitt, like.
I feel like all he does when he's not acting is just drives around Los Angeles,
Just like he did in the
hills.
movie. He's just driving in his car.
I literally was like in the car. You want me to suck your cock while you drive? How old are you? Old enough.
I ain't trying to go to jail over some poontang.
I want Brad Pitt to be my grandpa.
Dude, that'd be the most badass grandpa in the world. Who's your grandpa?
I think I would hang out with Will Smith because that means I get to hang out with his family.
Man, dude, Will Smith. I want to hang out with young Will Smith though.
What do you guys think of the new movie he's going to be in, Gemini Man?
I haven't.
I saw the trailer for it, and every time I see Will Smith in an action movie, I'm kind of like, eh.
I'm not really
Isn't it
up
the black
for it.
version of Looper?
Yeah,
Kind of, yeah.
It pretty much is
Kinda.
Looper.
I don't know if I would have worded it that way, but yeah.
But Tyler has a point. It is the black version of Looper.
Yeah.
Just because I'm white, it's wrong to say, Christian?
Yeah.
I give it approval.
Thank you.
Just
Man
saying.
of color.
It's like I give it approval.
He's a man of
a
color.
film of
You
color.
got approval from a coconut. Congrats.
Hey. Approval's
Still
approval.
got color.
Yes means yes.
Thank God to my daddy.
Alright, his dad's half black, so therefore he's a quarter black. Can I have an in card?
No.
Dang it!
That I'm not giving to you. Sorry.
No one should be able to hand those out either.
Only Samuel. He's pure.
I love how Josh is like, no!
That's
That's
not
not how
how
it
it
works!
works.
I was like, no, I'm not giving you that card.
Dude,
Sorry,
we were at
bud.
the lake. Oh my god! Bradley would not, because Brian, his nickname is Big Black Brian, and Brian just kept Bradley just kept saying it, and we were just looking at Brian, and we were like,
gave him the N-word pass.
give him an in card.
And every time, like, Bradley asked like 5 or 6 times while we were there, yeah, man, he gave me the pass. Is it cool if I say it? He's like, yeah. And Bradley would just go on a rant. And I was like, dude, stop saying
Dude, he
it,
said it for
please.
my dad. My dad was like, "The fuck did you just say?"
Yeah,
I was like, oh god, he's about to get smacked. And Brad was like, don't worry, Brian gave it to me. My dad was like, it's not how that fucking works. he was like, didn't you say he's from Frisco? That's not how that fucking works.
Frisco that's a different type right there.
Yeah, from my understanding, Brian was, for a black dude, was pretty white, from my understanding.
Okay, he's from Frisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from
Frisco,
Texas.
everyone there is white.
Oh shit, my phone locked.
So moving on from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, we're going to get into something that's more controversial. We've talked about it before, but things are changing. Gun laws.
Texas.
I never thought the day would come where I actually gave a shit about gun laws. I really didn't. I mean, I don't own a gun. I don't care. But after recent events, I think gun control's some kind of control is the way that needs to go.
Gauge, just like, I own one. There used to be like 20 in this house. Now they're at my parents' house.
I think there does need to be more restrictions on guns. In fact, I would not be against just getting rid of them in general at this point, out of how many people have died recently within the last, 2 weeks.
Getting rid of them completely?
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
No, it won't happen, but if there was a way that we could just say fuck it, I'd be down for it at this point. It needs to happen.
I wouldn't, because crime would still be equally as terrifying. Because like 40 something. Oh, it might have been 40.
There was a hypothetical, right?
What?
It's a hypothetical.
I know, but like there was a mass stabbing somewhere while someone walked around in a mall and just started shanking people. And
like, I did it on a train too.
It might have been that. I'm not sure. And there was no news coverage over it. It was just the guns. I'm like, knives are equally as fucking dangerous. So you don't bring a gun to a knife fight. You can't see the fucking knife.
Well, over here in Texas, and I think Texas is horribly wrong for this, but Texas is loosening its restrictions on gun laws.
How could you insult my state? My home.
My state, too.
My home. My home and my guns, damn it.
Oh, that's it. Our
birthright. Right to bear arms.
Do you think it's the
God's
same
fucking
thinking
land.
as if they legalize weed, there'd be less crimes? So if they legalize more stuff about guns, there'll be less crimes with them? They think it,
well, the thing is, marijuana is basically 100% harmless at this point.
I know, but like that's the only connection I could find to why they're loosening gun laws instead of making them stricter. Because if you make them strict, they piss people off.
Yeah, the worst part is that dude.
I mean, they're doing it. Based on the bills that I have written down here,
there's also a shooting.
They're doing it more for a protective reason, but that's not how most people are going to see it.
If they want to be protective, why don't we have like city border patrol?
What?
For guns. That dude came from Dallas and drove all the way to El Paso with an AK.
Yeah.
So why don't they just do something about that then?
I think it'd be more expensive to set up border, like,
yeah,
those type of control tolls.
Plus,
like
how long it would
cities.
take for them to check you before you go into a city.
I'm just saying.
You know how many people enter and leave?
I think it'd be much easier just to restrict the type of guns people have them to.
And just be background checks before, because we don't have a gun problem, we have a mental health problem.
We'll get into that when I get to the video game thing.
So I'm talking about, like, there's something wrong with people in America, like their brains. Like, there's something wrong with us.
How many
There's
American
something wrong with
has there
Americans.
been? We have the
260 something.
We're the only country at over the 200 mark.
We're the only country.
We're the only
over
country over
hundreds.
double digits,
Yeah.
bro.
The only
Triple
country
digits.
over 10. Yeah, no.
Every other country is below double digits.
I shit you not.
Really?
Yes,
But-
it's like all the. I think one of them has 13. One of them has 13, and then it's America
probably
260 something.
Well, these House bills, I'm going to go ahead and rattle them off, and you guys can tell me what you think. House Bill 1143. School districts cannot prohibit gun owners, including employees, from keeping firearms and ammo in a locked vehicle. It can't be in plain sight, but you can now keep your handheld weapon and ammunition locked in your car on school grounds.
That doesn't bother me.
That's fine.
House Bill 1387. More armed marshals for school districts. You can now no longer prohibit how many marshals a school district can hire.
That's fine.
That's good.
House Bill 2363. Foster homes can store weapons and ammo in safe and secure places.
That's fine.
House Bill 1177 prohibits residents from being charged for carrying a handgun while evacuating natural disasters.
That doesn't bother me.
Which, I mean, those are your personal belongings, kind of. I mean, but I don't know who's going to sit there and, out of everything in your house, grab the guns. I mean, that's not the top of my
Don't
list,
grab the children, grab the guns!
Exactly. And then Senate Bill 535 allows licensed handgun owners to legally carry weapons in places of worship.
So in a
Doesn't bother
church.
Usually people who get a license aren't crazy people. Most people who do shootings get the guns illegally. So if you have to have a license for it, I don't see a problem with it.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily see a problem with all these bills, but I know that some people are because they
None of those
want
bother me.
they want stricter laws because they don't want people to just freely be able to carry their handguns on them. But at the same time, not everyone's batshit crazy.
Well, did you hear about the school laws this year that are getting placed about the walls? They're building gates around all the schools, and there has to be a cop there in front of the gates.
I'm pretty sure.
As long as it's not like a Paul Blart fat mall cop, it's fine.
I'm pretty sure in Texas you can't, like, if you have a gun in your car, it can't be like it can't be loaded, and they have to be in like in separate locations to clip in the gun. Because I have a friend who used to have a gun in their car, and I remember I was like, why is there a clip right there? He's like, oh, because the clip can't be near the gun. I was like, where's the gun? He's like, in the center console. The clip's right there. And I was like, what the fuck? Like they can't be near each other. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
I
It was
don't.
also a deagle.
I don't know how I feel about
Yeah.
gun laws anymore.
Big
I
ass
mean,
fucking gun.
Clearly, I haven't been personally affected by them, but they're happening in mass numbers at this point. There's no way to officially control it, but
Especially when we have one on the same day.
yeah.
Was it the same day or hours?
I think it.
Or like hours in between each days?
I think it was like 2 days in a row. There were 2 different shootings.
It was one day after the other.
Okay. So I was like, I remember because it was El Paso,
And then it was Ohio.
Well,
And
and
then
then
dude killed his own sister. Like,
Well,
that's
then-
some fuck shit.
on top of that, the American people are living in fear. I mean, you saw the clip in New York, I think, where the motorcycle backfired like the engine did, and people thought somebody was shooting up the town square. So everyone took off running in herds. And they did news reports talking to people on the streets, and they're like, I was just fearing that my daughter was going to be shot right in front of me. People are freaking out over the smallest noises possible at this point. And, I mean, for good reason.
You ever
For
heard
really
an engine
good
backfire?
reason.
That shit's fucking terrifying no matter
Could
what.
be.
My car used to be like that.
But,
I almost got shot at my old house. I slept through it. There was a shooting 3 houses down.
I've heard a shooting in my neighborhood before.
I've
It was
heard
like when I lived with
multiple.
my dad, there was a drive-by.
It was a
You guys have heard multiple on my in my neighborhood.
You live in, like, the nicest house on the block, too.
Yeah. It's bad. It's scary. Telling you, bro, that Mexican gang is right down the street. They sit out there and they're on
You
their
should-
sofa on the front lawn all day, every day, bro. I swear it's
That just
scary.
reminds me of
I
Bright.
mean, there's no common ground here. You can't please everyone. You can't take the guns away.
But we obviously have to do something.
And we're going to be the last state that they're going to get ours.
Yeah, Texas won't give them
Well,
up.
we don't have to take everyone's guns away. I just don't think everyone should have. The
No, I'm just
access
saying,
to
but we're going to be the
certain types
last
of
state
guns.
that's going to even do anything about it.
I just,
Yeah,
with
but-
the way the world is, you can only do so much to make sure that people who are mentally stable get a gun through proper means. But at the end of the day, if somebody wants to shoot someplace up, they're gonna find a way to do it. The question is, what's the best way to try to prevent that? I mean, you can't have guards posted everywhere. You can't do it.
More jobs for people. Let's do it. Guards
I mean,
everywhere.
If they're going to pay you good, I don't see why not. But
Where the
cops
fuck
don't
are we gonna
even
get that money?
Cops don't even get paid that much. So cops, why would a cop even want to be posted up on that?
I wouldn't want to be a cop guarding Walmart.
Walmart's a big place to guard too.
Yeah.
Or even the mall at that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Our
our
mall has security guards, but
They don't even got
allowed-
guns.
Yeah, they're not allowed
They
to
don't
carry
have
guns.
guns.
Well, I mean, I think one of the biggest problems is clearly
Carry
how
tasers.
easy it is to get a gun. I mean, they've gone through the restrictions of you got to wait 7 days, you got to go through a background check. But places like Walmart and Academy just sell weapons on the
Yeah.
shelf. It's really easy to walk in
and
there.
pawn stores.
and
I don't
you-
know how how pawn stores do it, but they got guns too.
I
And
don't
black
know.
market.
The black market's the scariest place because you can get anything from. You can get a kidney there if you wanted it.
The black market's fucking terrifying.
That's where I sold mine.
That's where I made a cheap, a quick 15K.
Is that
Sold
what
my
you live off of now?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't work.
Where my college
Nice.
tuition came from.
How do you think I'm paying for grad school? You got 2 of them.
I don't need the second
You
one.
only
You know
need
what I'm
one.
saying?
Your liver grows back, so I sold half that too.
But this gun violence leads into my third and final topic, which is the mass shootings and violent video games.
Dumb.
And no. Before anyone
Fuck
says
that
anything,
shit.
let me just continue.
Holy shit.
To top this off, what?
The battery life on that camera blows. It's already half done.
Thank God I'm on my last topic. Walmart. After the mass shooting in Walmart, what do you think the proper response to a mass shooting in Walmart would be?
Mass
Only
shooting
the
in
video
Walmart?
games.
Yeah, in a place where you can buy guns, what would be the logical stance?
Stop selling guns.
Stop selling
Or
guns.
put metal detectors before you walk in.
Walmart.
Wait, no, because then belts and show designers.
Walmart
Disregard
is
what
now
I just
stating, and this happened hours ago. Walmart has stated they will stop selling. They won't stop selling guns, but instead they're banning displays and signs for violent video games.
Eat my ass. Walmart.
They've been instructed by the higher ups in corporation to turn off hunting season videos, remove monitors and displays that are advertising games like Call of Duty. They've also been instructed you can no longer play violent movies on the display cases for TVs.
What?
Yeah, but they're still going to sell their guns at Walmart.
Dude,
How does that make any fucking sense?
Walmart's retarded. Bunch of idiots.
Walmart's fucking stupid. That's
Now-
why Target's better.
Now,
I do like Target. Target's fucking real. Target's a
let me
white person.
flip my page real quick.
Target's a white person.
Give me them
David,
quotes.
This is awesome.
This is where this gets ridiculous. After the mass shootings,
Oh shit.
Trump
Dude.
has called for gruesome and violent video games to be curbed. He thinks that it is too much, it's overtaking our culture, and it's the reason young people are deciding to shoot up mass populated places. Hold your thoughts. On top of that, after Trump went on record and said this, The online community went into complete fucking outrage.
Oh, yeah.
And hashtag video games are not to blame went viral. And after Trump and several other leaders blamed video games for these mass shootings, they are also now being compared to the way comic books, music, in terms of heavy metal, hip hop, and horror films, they're being compared to how people used to blame.
Is this the fucking 60s?
Exactly. They're putting video games on blame the same way they put music and movies and comic books back in the day.
We're about to get another Eminem. This is a comment like, cause what happened when all that shit was going? But Eminem came started making raps all about all of it.
Yeah, and he blew up immediately.
Yes, so someone's about to blow up. So who's the next celebrity? You guys want to make a mixtape? This is our chance.
I think Christian's the only one.
I really do want to make a mixtape.
I'm down.
Now, Hillary Clinton chimed in on this, and I completely agree with her. I agree with the way she stated this. Quote, "People suffer from mental illnesses in every other country on Earth. People play games in virtually every other country. The difference is the guns."
What?
The difference is the guns. You don't see, people play video games everywhere else on the planet,
Yeah.
but where's it easiest to get a gun? Here in the U.S. It's super easy to get a gun here, and we don't check shit for it. We don't do anything about it. Everyone can have one. On top of that, this guy, I wish personally, Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick stated, nope, I already said it.
This is a sensitive topic.
Stated-
Say that.
I don't even own a gun. We've always had guns. We've always had evil. But what's changed where we see this rush of shooting? I see a video game industry that teaches young people to kill.
Eat my fucking dick, dude.
You want to know where you're trained to kill?
Cereal in the morning.
The military. That's where you're trained to kill. Video games don't train you for shit.
At all. They're not real.
Video games, and this is where
You don't respawn after you get shot in the face, okay?
yeah, no.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works. It'd be cool if life did
That's a
work like
hard
that.
pass. That'd be super cool. Oh, restart on live.
Could you imagine? God damn, I lost one of my lives in that mass shooting the other day.
Damn,
I
I
only
only
have
like 6
5.
left.
Dude, I would do so much dumb shit if we had lives as humans.
Oh, it'd be so badass if you were like in high school. Like, I'm gonna go ask that girl. Let me save my life real quick, so I can just rewind.
How'd it go?
No.
That sounds like the what's it called? The story of like an anime.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what that sounded like. Hold on. Let me go ask this chick out real quick. Hold on, let me save real quick. Go back. So, nope, you're a loser. Fucking rewind. Go back.
Fucking. Now,
Pause when you go back to previous save. Yep, fuck my life.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, quote, "We've watched from studies shown before what it does to individuals, and you look at these photos of how it takes place, you can see the actions within the video games."
Eat my fucking dick.
The only controversial thing that's ever happened in a video game
Was
in
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2, no Russian, where you walk in and murder the whole fucking.
And I love how
airport.
they even go there like, you weren't even supposed to shoot anybody. You were just supposed to walk.
Yeah.
What was our first instinct when you
Hold
saw
the trigger.
when you saw them people blasting them away? I was like, fuck it, they do it. You gotta join in, I guess.
You're sitting there, you're following the queue of the missions, but I've never once thought to myself while playing GTA, I'd love to run over a hooker in my sports car. I've never once thought that ever.
You know what's
Thought that. In the game? I do it all
No,
the
no,
time.
no, I mean
in real life.
Oh, there's not hookers here, and I don't have a sports
I've never
car.
been sitting there playing GTA like, wow, I wish I could go hop in my car and run over a hooker right now. Never thought.
I let all
forget-
my frustration out on GTA.
Speaking, my mom's sitting there and she goes, why did you have to do that? I was like, I don't know. They did it.
The game told me to do it.
And then like a couple of years later, I looked on YouTube and I was like, oh my god, I'm such an ass. I just killed all those poor people.
That's the only horrible controversy, and I'm sure there's been smaller controversies, but in terms of mass shootings, that's the only one in a video game I've ever seen.
That.
Yeah, that and in more recent copies of the game, that mission's completely taken out. You don't even get the option to play the mission because they're like, okay,
Yeah,
we
they took
realized
it
we
out.
fucked up. It was meant to be part of the game and show the casualties of war and terrorists, but we realized this is not what people need to see. Now, Matthew Littman. He is the president of 97% gun reform. He's in charge of... He's the leader of a group who wants gun change. His quote, "Generally, if you are talking about video games, there's literally not one piece of data that says video games are to blame. Not one.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's none. They've done so many... They've done a handful of tests over the years in groups of hundreds to 1,000 people, And not once during monitoring brain activity has someone shown spikes in violent behavior. Not once. Now, he also noted that gaming is widely popular in Japan, and multiple victim murders and gun deaths remain a statistical rarity. It doesn't happen over there.
This is the biggest stat ever was Korea is the number one place for video games. Number one in the entire world. There is no violence there in South Korea.
They're too busy playing video games in their coffee
North
shops.
Korea, I'll get to that.
North Korea is a different place. There's no video games there, and people are shot all the fucking time.
But that's by straight word of like Kim Jong Un. He's just like, kill that motherfucker.
Dude, Kim Jong Un's
Kim Jong Un's like, he looked at me suspectedly.
Now, the ESA, the Entertainment Software Association,
that's my place.
has argued a long time that there is no link between video games and violent behavior. Quote, blaming...
The fuck is that?
It's recording.
No, but do you see that thingy? The fuck is that thingy?
It just means that it's recording.
No, this is the record. The fuck does that mean?
We're having camera difficulties.
Hold on, you keep talking.
Quote, blaming games for real-world
Someone
violence
on the left side.
is no more productive than blaming other forms of social media, like we just talked about, for the content they depict. Other societies where video games are played as vividly do not contend with the tragic levels of violence that occur within the U.S. The problem's not video games, it's this country. There's such a great social divide in the way people think.
Yeah.
It's not the games. No chance in hell.
Also, this country makes they make you choose sides.
Yeah.
Someone's an enemy of someone all the time.
You know, if I was going to pick something to blame, this might sound dumb, but, you know, movies.
I wouldn't pick movies.
Okay, but think about it. Back in, like, the 90s, what type of movies did you have? You had a lot of psycho
Because
movies.
there's also Westerners.
You had Scream. That depicted of a person wanting to kill because of his mother's death. And she blamed her dad. And it was him killing all those teens. And then
Friday the 13th. Halloween.
Orphan. Do you remember the movie Orphan?
Mm-hmm.
What else was there? Town with Ben Affleck.
The Crazies.
The Crazies.
There's something just wrong with because how many
like,
people are there in the U.S. Because statistically, shouldn't there be like if there's more people in another country, the same shit should be happening, but just on a higher scale.
Yeah, but
that's not the
think
case
about it.
at all.
Like,
It's
movies
just,
and games are different.
It's just here.
But like in movies, they kind of give people like a motive. Like
I would say
they see it that too. But in video games, it's an objective.
Well, no,
I would
There's
say
a storyline behind it.
the way I see it, if you're gonna compare violence in movies and video games, it shows you what you can't do.
Yeah.
It depicts something that you shouldn't see, but it's not glorifying it in like you watch Saving Private Ryan. I'm gonna go join the military. That's not how it works. Except you. Except you. That's the one exception. You're weird.
I just grew up with a military family.
But they don't glorify anything. In fact, they're creating works of art with controversial material.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing.
Oh, but like you get what I'm saying? Like, what did they blame when the Carbine shooting happened? Columbine, not Carbine.
I was like, Carbine? Fuck.
Columbine, like the school shooting. Like, what did they blame back then?
Dude, there's been so many there were like, you know,
I'm talking about like a mass school shooting.
Yeah, you know, when my grandparents went to UT. There were like 3 shootings while they were there.
What did they blame back then?
There was an old military dude who had PTSD and he got in the top of the watchtower with a sniper and started sniping people in the square.
That was like the dude.
That shit
They
you
made
not.
fun of that in Family Guy one time.
What was the one for what camp was it?
Yeah.
Dude, G was on campus when that started happening.
They made fun of it in Family Guy because Peter's like, man, I don't ever get picked for anything. And they do a cutaway. There's dudes sitting in a sniper tower sniping citizens as they're walking by. And he scopes in on Peter and he waves. And he blows the guy up next to him. And he's like, kicks the dead body like, fuck.
Oh, because he never got chosen.
Yeah.
Or like the guy that shot up the military base.
I don't know what they would have blamed. When
How the fuck did that dude get in there with a gun?
Who, the guy in the military base?
Yeah, the military
He was
base.
part of the military.
Okay, that dude's just fucking crazy then.
Yeah, he had PTSD. But I'm just saying, why didn't they,
They
you
should
know?
have taken away that gun as soon as he had signs of PTSD.
Well, I mean,
I'll tell you
also,
what.
the moment they want to blame video games for the violence that's happening in the world, keep a closer eye on your fucking kid.
Honestly,
I'm sorry,
like,
but
look at the age limit. Like, look at the ages for anything that happens during schools. It's 18-year-olds, fucking seniors.
yeah.
Like,
But I mean, it's one thing to keep an eye on your kid and monitor what they play, but then it's a complete other, like, if you know they're playing, like, GTA at the age of, like, 13, you should probably stop that. Did the camera just overheat? That's what it said last time.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. This is a new camera.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the guns. It's the video game.
But like, also like, no, we're not even recording.
Dude, that's
anymore.
so
We have to
fucking
go.
hot.
This
So
is
fucking hot.
Wait, you know, like, I don't even remember what that kid shot up the school with, and was it Florida?
Wasn't like an M1 Grand or something?
It was an AR, wasn't it?
It's usually
I don't
It's
remember.
usually an AR.
Like, and then all these people are like, oh, we gotta ban like, you can buy an AR at 18, but you have to get a pistol at 21. Like,
Yes,
why don't you just make it all at 21?
Well, you can't, because you can hide a pistol. You can't hide an AR.
I know, but still, why can't you just?
Well, you shouldn't be able to get an AR in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why can't you push the age limit for an
Why
AR-15
not?
at 21?
I think there should
you
be
should
hard. I think there should be hard bans on automatic weapons, guaranteed.
I mean, you need a class
There
3
are-
license.
Fully automatic weapons are banned. Like, you cannot have you have to have
have
like
a class 3 license.
You have to have a class 3
No,
license.
there needs to be more hard
Restrictions on it?
that. Yeah.
I mean, the only people that you usually see automatics are vets. And that's because they get the class 3 license when they
you
come out of
can't-
the military.
You can't. Normal people, most of the things, most shootings don't come with a fully. It's not a fully automatic rifle.
I mean, the only other person that I know other than my uncle
that's
that
not
has
true.
one is, you know, our friend her dad is an FBI agent. He has one, but that's because he's FBI.
because citizens.
I'm
can't have-
surprised.
Jeff doesn't like guns.
That's what, yeah, I forget about that.
Jeff actually hates them. So
And I'm like-
there's not one in ATN's house. It might be one.
I'm like, if he wanted to, he can get one because he
Yeah,
was
he's
a
class
ranger.
two license. Yeah, he's a
So-
Army Ranger.
And he was trained. But like most of these people that get them, like I don't even know how they get class 3 license sometimes.
They probably don't.
So
Yeah.
that red X means it's overheating, I think.
Makes sense.
But back on the topic of the research shows that links with video games actually show a reduction in violent behavior and crime. Basically, what their research shows is that the more video games, and it's weird that it's mainly males, it's only males that do mass shootings. Like, I've never really seen a female do it. So the demographic of the research was mainly targeting males at this point. But they basically stated that video games are not only a scapegoat, but it's a hobby. It's like going to football practice or, you know, chess club. It eats up a kid's time to where he's not on the street doing something he shouldn't be doing. He's not out there trying to be a criminal. He's not out there doing hood shit. He's sitting on his couch playing video games for 6 hours
The
a
fact
day.
that you just said hood shit makes me happy.
But it's
Yeah.
true.
So,
Do shit things with my friends.
You know, another thing is like also my mom and I were talking, and it was like, what's usually the race that shoots up people too?
White people.
White people. Like,
not all white people are bad. I want to clarify.
yeah,
that.
not all people. Don't get me wrong. Like, not
I
all
wanna
white people are
clarify that
bad
right now.
But like, my mom was right there. My mom was like, I mean, Mexicans are too busy shooting up other Mexicans. Black people are too busy shooting up.
White people shoot other white people.
You know, like white people shoot everybody apparently. And mom was like, I don't know why. Like, and it was crazy. My mom was like, you know, I didn't have to fear for my life going to Walmart, a fucking Walmart, going in there with your sister. And I'm like, and she was like, I was like the other day that story that I told you.
Don't click.
What'd I do?
Nothing. Just don't click. Just move it.
I didn't mean to click
That
it,
story
I'm
that I
sorry.
told you about that Walmart by our house.
Mhm.
That had to have the SWAT team come by because some dude left the briefcase during the front door, and my mom got stuck in there. And I was like, that's some crazy shit. Like, you can't even leave your house without. And then my mom also sent me a thing on Facebook. It was like bulletproof backpacks.
Yep.
That's some fuck shit, dude.
Well, I don't want to blame Trump. I don't want to put all the blame on
Yeah,
Trump.
I mean, it's not
But-
his fault that these
but
people are going crazy.
His stance on the way he's treating immigrants and the words he chooses, there are people who look up to the nation's leader to point them in a direction, and his choice of words are not correct. They're not.
They're
And he's not
definitely
helping
not.
influence people. He's not making his presidential announcements pure, like,
He's also not taking a stand.
he's not taking a stand. In fact, he's more along the ropes of, oh, it's a tragedy, but let's not change
That was like
anything.
that Muslim.
Every
I don't know if
everything you can do wrong, that man is like, let's do it wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was a Muslim secretary. I know she was Muslim, but I don't know what she was at one of his rallies, and the whole crowd was saying "send her back,"
Yeah.
And like he just didn't do anything about it. And I was like,
Well,
okay,
because
this is something different.
Because he sent out those nasty tweets telling all those women you should go back and fix your own country before you try to fix ours.
Yeah.
They were all born here.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, he has no room to talk. Don't get me wrong, he's our president and everything. But his wife isn't even from here.
but you don't have to respect him. You respect the position.
Yeah.
Oh, I respect that he's the president.
I respect that he's the president. But like his
I don't
wife,
respect him as a person.
his wife isn't from here.
And
Yeah.
She's from like Poland or somewhere.
My family
Yeah.
is Republican. Openly, we
Yeah,
are Republican,
like,
and my family is like, that man is an idiot. Auntie Ann works for the federal government, and she's like, he's an idiot.
We're
I'm just like,
Republicans, but like at the end of the day, my mom she was like,
he's an idiot.
his wife isn't even from here, and he's over here trying to get rid of all these other people.
I'll be truthfully honest with you. I think a large part of the problem does stem from the fact that white people came, they took this country, they owned slaves, and at the end of the day, they don't like change, and we're trying to set all these things into motion. We want to let immigrants in, the people want it, Trump won't allow it. I think it has to do largely with change, and the white people want to stay on top. I think they do. I think white people want to have majority control, and in this day and age, it just doesn't work. White people are being... not when I say white people are being pushed out, I mean more in a sense of like interracial like breeding and whatnot. Like eventually, white people will probably go extinct. There'll be Mexicans in your bloodline. There'll be black people in your bloodline. Like white people will eventually phase out, and white will not just be one thing. You will be multicultural.
They said if we last for 100 years, they did a thing where they made a computer graphic of what people will look like in 100 years. Everyone is golden. Everyone has golden skin.
I believe that.
Dude,
Like,
I believe the term
everyone has,
white
like,
person will no
they
longer
have like
exist at some
they
point.
have like hazel eye. Their eye colors are different.
Honestly,
but that's about it.
That's like one of the best things I loved about New York. Everyone there was mixed. Like you knew who like the pure white people were, but like when we got to like the Bronx or like Harlem,
the fact that you just said pure people were, and you were talking about white people.
I mean,
I'm offended, Ryan. How dare
Mexicans
you.
aren't even pure. We're half Indian.
I actually can't wait for the day that you can't look at someone can't just go, well, I'm white. No, you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
You were a mix of like
Like y'all
different
too.
things.
Y'all are pure. You have what do you have? Irish and German.
Yeah.
I
you have
Portuguese
German?
in me. I have Portuguese and Spaniard.
I
Combined it's 6%, but it's there nonetheless.
If I remember correctly, I'm English, Irish, and German.
So you have
Same.
all
As
that's
far as I
all.
remember.
That's
I'm
all
the
pure
exact
white.
same as him.
Yeah.
And like Tyler,
I'm the exact
you
same
can't
as
tell
him.
you can't
and
tell
then,
you're
like,
6% Spanish.
But
or
I can tell
whatever.
you right now, my one goal in
2%
life.
Portuguese, motherfucker.
I don't want to marry a white woman. I know I don't.
Yeah.
I want some color in my family.
Because you like little brown people.
I do.
You really do
I
love
love
little brown
Mexicans.
people. But like
Have you seen my family? We got all. The only thing we don't have is an Asian, and Auntie Martha was this close from adopting an Asian child.
I
An
met-
Asian baby. I shit you not.
in the Uber that was driving me to Harlem,
We
he
really
goes,
wanted her to get
you
engaged.
see that block right there? I was like, yeah. No Mexicans, no nada. All that right there, it's all mixed, brother. And I was like, mix of what? He goes, whatever you can think of. Asians, Puerto Ricans,
Chicanos.
Cubans. And he's like the Mexicanos. I was like, oh really? He goes, it's all mixed, dude. You don't ever see a pure person here. And I was like, is that
Well, and
so?
that's the thing. I think, and it's weird to think of races being so divided in this day and age because we really shouldn't be. But I think at some point when everybody's on the same page culturally and racially, this will be less of a problem.
But you know,
and I do think white people are a lot. And don't get me wrong, like we're talking about, me and Tyler are hard. We're only white,
we are
but-
some honkies.
but I am completely in agreement with the fact that white people are the major problem right now. They really are.
But you know what else is also a problem? I also blame the city. Because like if you think of like little small towns like Ropesville, what's there? Mixes of everything. You got
was
the
like,
white.
shit,
You
I'm
got
not-
I
white.
don't think
Roseville.
white people are the problem.
No,
No,
but
I think they're a
100%.
large portion.
Yeah,
of the
but
problem.
listen.
Yeah, but-
so like, but here in Lubbock,
Yeah,
like,
but this country's creating enemies of everybody. They have to pin someone against the other instead of just being like, hey, there's evil. Why don't we just fight the evil instead of, hey,
Yeah,
let's
but if
fight
you-
the white people,
but-
let's fight the colored
No,
people.
If you look at all the racial problems right now, though, it's all the coloreds versus the whites.
Yeah, it's
And-
versus.
And the white people want to be on top. We want control, and that is part of the problem.
But, like-
that's the. I'm not saying that white people are 100% to blame, but we do have a complex of.
Well, there's
yes,
a-
we're white. We're on top. We have control.
But there's a lot of white people who aren't like that anymore. I'm not like that. I don't give a
Me
shit.
and you
whether,
both aren't like
I don't
that.
give a shit whether
But you
I'm
also
on
grew up
top or
at-
not.
You
Like,
also grew up at our school where most
like-
of our population was Asians and Mexicans.
yeah, I mean,
You grew up with color.
Yeah, but I don't care if I'm on top. I don't give a shit. Like, but like
you're not understanding what I'm throwing at you right now.
But some people look at white people and like, you're a demon no matter what. I'm like, what
you're
the
not
fuck are you talking
understanding what I'm
about?
throwing at you right now. There are white people that are good.
Yes.
Me and you are perfectly fine with everybody.
Oh,
but
called me
then
good.
there's people like Trump who started out his campaign targeting Mexicans.
Oh yeah,
there are people. The people who are in charge that are white are the problem.
There you go.
That's more what I should have said.
That's what I also bring about like cities. Like we're divided here. Like when I grew up with my dad, we lived on the black side of town. When I grew up with my mom, we grew up on the Mexican side. And like, it was also
you went to Catholic white school.
Yeah, but like here's the thing though. Like when I was growing up, I'll never forget when I was because like we had some black people move over there with my great grandma on the Mexican side of town, and she goes, we have to leave, and I was like, why? She goes, there's black people over there. I was like, what does that matter? I was like, I'm part that, like, and she goes, yeah, but you're living with us right now, and I was like, doesn't matter. They're just because they're
times are changing, Mima.
Just because they're over there where the train tracks are, but like that was just a household element, like, you know. My Mexican family were racist against the blacks. My dad's side were racist against the Mexicans, and I was like,
I also think depending on
a little bit of both.
Depending on how much longer we have on this planet due to climate change and global warming,
we're gonna live for.
I also think that future generations will learn to get past this because there's still old heads who are top dog in the game who have racial problems. Younger generations like us, we have a lot fewer of them. We grow up around each other. We don't give a shit.
Look at the younger
We're all the
politicians.
fucking same.
Yeah, but I also like
all politicians are.
It also comes down to your
There's
like,
not one
how you
good
grew up too.
politician.
How you were raised, what influenced you. But I mean, like, you've seen the videos online where, like, I remember seeing one, I want to say it was closer to our senior year, where this black guy was walking up to his apartment, and this old, like, 80-year-old white lady was out front, and she saw him approaching and just started screaming rape, even though he lived there, because a colored man was approaching her.
I was like,
old heads, and it's weird saying old heads because people grew up differently, they've got different views, but as the older people phase out and the younger generations take over, where we've grown up with everything, we're cool with it, I think it'll become less of a problem.
For sure.
But I don't know.
Yeah, that's also like that one lady in New York, wasn't it? And that guy, he like just moved there, and she was like following him to the apartment just to make sure. And I was like, what? You're in New York. You see just about everybody there.
They actually covered that in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Remember when Terry was walking up and down the street? I think he was looking for his daughter's toy or something, and this white cop pulled him over, like kind of stopped him on the street because he was a black man walking in a rich neighborhood, and arrested him because he thought he was going to do something criminal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They addressed it in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I love the way they did it because Terry's a cop.
Yeah.
He's just like, don't you ever treat me like that again. He's like, I'm exactly like you. There's no need for that.
Dude, Terry Crews, Terry Crews is a big ass.
I love
dude.
Terry Crews, dude.
Dude, he's fuck. Could you imagine if just that'd be fucking terrifying.
Terry Crews, you're always welcome to show up to this podcast. You and Keanu Reeves.
And Elon Musk. And Elon Musk.
Come on by, fellas.
If the off chance that were to ever happen, what would you actually do if you just got a comment on the bottom of it and it's actually by one of them? Be like, I'd be delighted to.
I'm telling you right now, we're putting in a hard week's work before this happens. We are scripting the whole fucking show, and there will be nothing going wrong that week it happens. Not one fucking.
And you know what
thing.
else?
Dude, you're gonna go insane.
I'm gonna be so angry about it.
Wait, hold on. We can't have fun with Terry Crews. You're gonna be like, it's rude. Stick to the script, you bastards.
No, we're gonna plan out something that looks sophisticated, and if we rant and we vamp off each other, that's one thing. But I'm not gonna sit here and let your phone block. We're gonna have everything in place. There will be no minor inconveniences. It will flow.
All I ask for is, Terry, if you come, I want you to take off your shirt and yell at Old Spice. Because
I just want to do
that's
Old
my
Spice
dream.
scream,
Yeah,
right?
that's my almighty dream.
But
That'd be awesome.
I don't know. At the end of the day, video games aren't to blame. Movies aren't to
Just
blame.
how you brought up.
Let's
just put it to the
way
facts.
you're raised, and
Honestly, it also comes down to fucking discipline.
Dumb people
like I
should
said,
be allowed to repopulate.
these kids that do this shit,
Repopulate.
they need to get ass whooping.
mm-hmm.
Let's be real. Their mamas didn't give them enough ass whoopings out back in the day.
Or just dumb people don't need to repopulate. I think you have to take a test, and if your IQ is not high enough, you cannot have a baby. You should be fucking chemically castrated. Now, you know what? Your IQ is below 100, cannot have a baby.
You are not allowed to reproduce. You've been voted off the island.
Dude, exactly.
It's like that. What was that book that
dumb
we read?
people make dumb children.
The Giver.
Tell me I'm wrong.
In what?
Remember the book that we had to read, The Giver?
Oh yeah, that is basically.
And that's pretty much what you're wanting.
That is, yeah.
Only the smart could have babies, and then they gave them like specific roles in life.
Maybe we need to fucking try that. 'Cause
No.
what's going on right now isn't fucking working. Okay.
Well, that was written for like a
Utopian.
It was
Ethiopian
utopia.
society, bro.
If you could change, what do you think would fix this fucking shithole of a country right now?
Another civil war.
Trump
A
not being in
plague.
office would be a start.
Did you hear him?
I heard him say civil war. Trump not being in office would be a solid start.
I go with a plague.
Oh, plague! I'd rather have the civil war than the plague.
No,
Jesus.
No, because a plague
No war.
would wipe out half the population and help stop global warming.
Also, could feed a lot of people.
No, stop! Damn it! I don't know why I did that. We're not going back to cannibalism, you fucking freak.
You already know.
Last week he talked about eating people. I'm not eating people.
Why not? If I had to, I would.
Oh,
Christian,
God.
I'm sorry, but if there's if I had to kill another fucking human for us to live, I'll do it.
Hey, see? If there was an apocalypse and someone came at you with a gun and you shot them first, you're like, I'm kind of hungry. Everyone else back at the village is kind of hungry.
Just cut them up. They won't know it's
person
human.
kinda
Just
looks-
bring their legs and arms.
See? You're telling me you wouldn't like to have a nice like Billy burger? You don't know who that fucker is. You're just gonna eat him.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
me?
Christian, you already know that if something happens and I don't have any ammo or any type of weapon, I'm fucking eating that dude's neck first. I'm going for his throat.
Yeah, no, I'd cook them first. 'Cause that's unsanitary.
Well, fuck it. You're already in this fucking shithole. Might as well just go at it.
So we good?
I'm sorry that I'm not on the same level of cannibalism as you guys.
I have to if I'm gonna live.
I would only eat someone
Christian,
if I
I'm
had
sorry.
to.
I'll drink my own piss if I have to.
I don't have the survivor's
You
mentality.
can only do that once.
Fuck.
I don't have the survivor's mentality to do that.
Why?
I don't. I just don't.
You can have a little bit of ear.
I'm
you
not
know?
drinking
a little
my
bit of
piss
nose.
either.
Okay, by the way, these are cartilage. You can't chew these.
It's fine.
You can make crackling out of them though.
See?
Kind of like pigskin. They
Perfectly
do
fine.
the same thing.
I'm sorry that I don't have the same
Fucking
mentality. as all of you.
chicharrones.
They can make chicharrones out of people's noses and ears.
See? We're gonna be fucking fine, dude. Just follow me. I'll fucking protect you. Just shooting people, eat them toes.
Brian's gonna have a necklace
Of toes.
Toes?
with toes.
Whenever he's done something good, Christian's like, good boy, Brian. He can be like, oh, I can eat a toad then.
No, Christian. Christian's gonna be like,
No, he's gonna have a ring of toes and be like, Tiffany.
yeah. I was
delicious."
about to say, in Christian's army, Christian's gonna be like, Ryan, how many kills have you had today? Where are my new toes at?
Oh, this one's still kind of bloody. Rings it out.
Christian's like, damn, 24, huh? Hey, man, gotta feed the people.
Dude,
Have a fucking.
I love how you looked at me and were like, wait.
No!
I'm just
Yeah, no,
saying.
I would die at the end of the world. I would.
You're insane.
I would.
Would you at least eat dog?
No.
Why? It's a fucking dog.
I'd rather eat a person than a dog.
What?
I would
like
rather eat
chicken.
a person than a dog, but I'm not eating either one.
I'd eat a cat. No, I wouldn't eat a cat,
What the
actually.
fuck?
I kind of hope that I die in the plague.
Yeah.
You're
So,
insane.
If the plague happens, I mean, I died for the betterment of the planet.
No, I'm surviving as long as I can. I'll kill all these motherfuckers for food.
Like, there's people that want to live to 100, I don't agree with them. Like, I'd rather die at, like, 50-something, dude.
If I
Don't
die at
wanna get
60
old.
something, I'd be okay with that.
I'd die when I'm old. I want to go old. Have a family.
I don't want to get old.
I need to make sure that something in my death will states don't let Tyler fucking eat me.
I wouldn't eat you unless I had to.
I'm sorry, Christian, but if it comes down to it and you
I'd
die
make
in our
beef
group, I
jerky
would be
and
like,
preserve you.
damn, Christian, you're for the better of the good, brother.
Oh no!
But
If
you
I
got
was
some
gonna
nice
die,
legs
I
on
would
you.
head out on my. I would be like the animals, like a dog when it's not feeling well. I would go hide off in the woods by myself and die.
But you know, like, have you ever had that feeling when like someone's watching you? That's gonna be me. Like, what's going on? You gonna die
Me and
yet?
Ryan, me and Ryan are gonna be behind you if you're dying.
I'm letting you both know I would gladly shoot you before I let you eat me. So
Looks like we're shooting you first and eating you
good luck.
Sorry, Christian.
May the better man win.
from far away.
So I've got nothing to lose. I'm already on my way out. May the better man win.
I wouldn't get up close. I wouldn't fight you
That would be
close.
Christian's ideal way of going out, taking 2 people down with him.
Especially with a grenade, like,
especially because, dude, Christian would pull a grenade and grab us both by the head and be like, "We'll fucking die now, motherfucker!" And just
I'll drop this bitch right here, right now.
Dude, all you see is Christian like say goodbye, ka-chink, and we're just like, "Oh shit!" And then just
I'll see you boys in hell.
It's like I walk up afterwards, like, hey guys, ready to go film the podcast? Oh my god.
What the fuck
They
happened
really
here?
killed themselves without me!
I look like Quentin Tarantino directed this shit.
I'm sorry, dude, but
Gotta hide the bodies!
If
Pull
I'm
out my
gonna live-
flamethrower.
No evidence.
that kind of smells good. What the fuck? Maybe Charlie was right. Just
see, dude, I'm telling you, some nice barbecue shit.
Barbecue shit.
Don't get me
Well,
wrong.
that's all I had this week.
You're gonna pick the grenade out of us, though.
So, unless you guys had something besides cannibalism you wanted to talk about.
I'm sorry, but I'm
that's
with
all I
Tyler on that one. Gonna have to agree.
It's the one time I agree with Ryan.
Josh, we're gonna graze like cows.
I'd rather die in the plague.
I'll still eat you. Fuck it.
I'm not eating someone in the plague. I don't want to get the plague.
Just
No, it doesn't matter. It's like
find the
eating.
good meat. Sniff it out. Clean
Well,
it good.
Views beyond the news. Hopefully, we won't talk about cannibalism next week.
I think
Cruz.
it's gonna be a weekly thing. I'm gonna try to convince you.
I'm not eating people.
Let me
I'm
know
gonna
if you
convince
want to
him.
get down.
I'm gonna convince him. But we'll see you
Twitter.com
guys next time.
/J.Cortez.
Hey, Christian, you recording this?
Yeah, I am.
All right, well, fuck off.